British Council was established in the year 1934 internationally, and it has been working in Ethiopia since 1942. It is working over 100 countries across the globe. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. The British Council is the United Kingdom's international organization for educational opportunities and cultural relations, operating in more than 100 countries and territories worldwide, and has been in Ethiopia for the last 75 years. It has built trust and understanding between people worldwide by enabling them to share ideas and knowledge. British Council offers a unique opportunity to gain experience and develop skills in international cultural relations. Each year, British Council reaches over 20 million people face-to-face and more than 500 million people online via broadcasts and publications. British Council has been highly influential in the fields of arts, society, education, English language, and international exams. OBN had an exclusive interview with the communication manager of British Council in Ethiopia, Nabiyu Worku. He had the following to say about the works that are undertaken by the Council in Ethiopia.
The British Council is the UK's, or the United Kingdom's, international organization for cultural relations and educational opportunities. So having said that, the British Council has been in existence for the past 85 years. But in Ethiopia, it has been operating for the last 78 years. So as part of that, I can say that we have been very strong in the education sector. And we have been supporting the Ministry of Education since the British Council started working in Ethiopia. And there are so many different things that I can say, setting up libraries in different universities, in different schools, supporting the Ministry of Education, implement its different programs. Sometimes, the Ministry of Education approach us, to get support in certain ways. Sometimes we do design proposals as per the work that we have, as per the joint work that we do. So in that manner, we have done a lot in the past 78 years, I can't say. So, but one of the recent examples would be the Quest Quality Education Support Program we just ended, and in that program we support the Ministry of Education achieve better scores, for certain schools in the Amhara and also in the southern region, so to achieve better scores when they were evaluated. And we also have an excellent program called the Connecting Classrooms. So it's about there are 6 core skills which are which the program trainers and facilitators provide training on for selected schools, and this is a sustainable and a very good example of the work that we do.
British Council works on social enterprise under a project designed to support underserved population to access social protection, health, education, and jobs. In doing so, help foster inclusive and sustainable growth for human development. More specifically, the project strives to promote and strengthen an evidence-based social enterprise approach in addressing development priorities in Ethiopia. The project is part of the British Council's Global Social Enterprise Program, which is implemented currently in 29 countries across 4 continents. The program supports social enterprise to address social and environmental challenges and improves people's lives in our communities and societies. It promotes positive social change, inclusive growth, and sustainable development while sharing, learning, and building trust between the United Kingdoms and other countries.
Under society, what we mean is, for example, we have the social enterprise program. So under social enterprise, that businesses usually focus only on profit, and charities, they only focus on supporting people through the funds that they get elsewhere. So both have their own advantage and disadvantage, and the disadvantage from the business point of view, from the disadvantage of the business organization is that they only focus on profit. They are driven by profit, so they ignore the human element. On the other hand, the NGOs and also the charities, they usually depend on other big organizations to fund them. Once that funding is discontinued, all that they do is not sustainable and it ends there. So in order to solve this, this model, the social enterprise model, sprung up, some years ago. And the UK, the United Kingdom, is one of the countries where it's very strong, especially in Scotland, for example. In Scotland, Scotland was voted to be the best place to be a social enterprise in.
Civil Society Program, CSP, is another area which British Council vigorously works on. The Civil Society Support Program is a capacity development program supporting Ethiopia's civil society and its contribution to national development, poverty reduction, and the advancement of global government in line with the government policies.
Another program under the society wing or strategic business unit is CSSP. And I can say that, especially we had interviewed and, we had interactions with some of the CSOs who were supported by CSSP. So basically what it does is supporting local NGOs here in Ethiopia and giving out money, capacity building and so on and so forth. So one person said, one representative of the CSO sector said, especially during the previous time when the CSO law was very stringent, he said that CSSP single-handedly saved the CSO sector in Ethiopia. So that's not our quote, that's a quote that we got. That may not be the fact, but we really supported many struggling CSOs, because of the cut in funding. Many NGOs or CSOs were really struggling, and by giving that money, seed money, to of course do the work that the CSSP was set out to do, which was actually focusing on these disadvantaged community members.
British Council has extensive experience in working with youth through designing and implementing programs developed especially to enhance various skills such as leadership and social enterprises, recognizing that young people are capable of addressing societal problems and concerns. Those programs, including active citizens interaction, global exchange, premier skills, and national inspiration, Horn of Africa leadership, and learning for active citizens engaged in the development of their society. The British Council developed a strong network of local and international partners, skilled facilitators, tried and tested materials and resources, and experience of linking people across borders to support the successful delivery of activities at country, regional, and global levels. The British Council Youth Program will deliver with a strong emphasis on building young people's capacity. They will develop the skills, knowledge, and attitudes to drive positive change, operating in collaborative way.
Another program is the youth program that we have. And one big result from that is the fact that we now have we did a research, a next generation research on the state of the youth in Ethiopia. And that was actually, the report went out. We had, I forgot to mention that this is in the same society category, or in the society strategic business unit. I was mentioning the social enterprise sector, and the 12th Social Enterprise World Forum was held in Addis Ababa, and it was hosted by the British Council. We were the strategic partners, along with the Social Enterprise Ethiopia's associations that I mentioned were formed, like 2-3 years ago. We did, I think, an excellent job.
British Council provides English language training and national exams.
English and exams. So we actually teach English here in the British Council. We have general English training for adults, and we have just started general English for 8 to 11-year-old kids. So apart from that, we do professional training, that is, for professionals. It could be institutions. We go and provide them with language training, which is geared towards professional achievements, and rather than academic, it is more professional focused. So we also provide, we are also a certified exam center. So one of the IELTS, IELTS. So we provide that exam, but not only IELTS, but any other exam. For example, if you want to enter into a university in the UK or elsewhere, they will definitely want you to take an exam, and whatever that exam is. So you can come to our center and take that exam, because since we are certified, they will accept our support.
Art is another wing that British Council keenly works on in Ethiopia. British Council has established new partnership between Ethiopian, United Kingdom and East African artists and creative entrepreneurs. British Council secures relationship with creative partners internationally to deliver exciting projects from theater and dance to visualize arts and design.
We have the East Africa Arts. So that's basically it brings about a collaboration between the UK and at least 2 or 3 other East African countries, artists, and that's a very good program. For example, you have a mobility fund in the art sector. So if you are an artist and if you want to travel in Africa or in East Africa, to attend a festival or whatever, you can apply for a funding to the British Council, and after an assessment, you can be given that fund. But apart from that, we just recently finished a our Creative Futures program, which was actually funded by the European Union, and we are now going to run as like a second part of that, because one element that was really successful was the innovation months. Lots of artists, from different fields. There were painters, there were filmmakers, there were fashion designers from the gaming industry, and so on and so forth. They came together, and there was a fusion. They were tasked with coming up with ideas and also implementing those, within 1 month period of time.
The relationship between Ethiopian government and British Council is based upon mutual beneficiary.
Our relationship with the Ethiopian government it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. For example, I actually mentioned that we have these connecting classrooms programs, and we are actually training teachers through this connecting classrooms programs, and these teachers are actually paid by the regional education bureaus. So, realizing the benefit of the program, the Regional Education Bureau allotted money, so like 30% we provide, and the Ministry of Education, they provide 70% of the funding.
British Council is partnering with some of the world's leading media organizations to deliver Future News Worldwide 2020, a unique conference for aspiring student journalists taking place in London. British Council is looking for bloggers, vloggers, and photojournalists to join.
We have now this Future News Worldwide. It's a very prestigious event, and for all journalists who are interested to attend that, there are eligibility criteria there. You can log into that. We are promoting that on our Facebook page, and you can just log into our Facebook page, check out those the FNW, or Future News Worldwide 2020 promo, and please register. I think the deadline is in February, so I want to tell my your audience, our audiences, to register and try. There will only be only two Ethiopians will be allowed, more or less two, to travel. No other Ethiopian has ever attended that event, the Future Needs Worldwide. You know what makes this special is that the fact that many, from BBC, from Reuters, and different really prestigious news agencies, there will be the trainers will be from such prestigious news agencies, and they will deliver a very hands-on, very practical, and really an eye-opening workshop, in 5 days.